love so that that prevails and does not cause us to do that. Now, I preach to myself too, guys. I mean, I've been walking this way with the Lord a long time, but there's still times pressures get to me. You think you got enough water there, David?
Oh, David. You get some of that.
Good. I was listening to him, man. I don't care. All right. So, does not behave itself unseemly, we're still in verse 5. Seeks not her own, is not easily provoked. Oh, man, this is getting me in every direction. Not easily provoked? What's that mean? Angry?
Doesn't get upset.
Not irritable. I like that. What?
I said don't get upset very easy.
Doesn't get upset very easy. You know what? I don't know about you, but these things I have to deal with. Now, the real walking by faith says, I'm going to deal with these things by faith and live the love walk. Okay? But when you say that, the enemy's going to tempt you with it. He's going to try you on that a little bit. But you just stay firm. Love prevails. Faith works by love. You want to move mountains? Then get in love. Develop love. Okay? We're still in verse 5. Not easily provoked, and thinks no evil. Now, see, nobody knows what you're thinking but you and God. So nobody knows whether you got a problem with that except you. But I tell you what, if you think on evil long enough, it will become an action. So eventually it will come out of the gate. However, you may be smiling at somebody's face. Yeah, I love you, brother. Praise the Lord. You're thinking to yourself, you snake. Well, it's funny, but it happens a lot in churches, and it has split and divided many churches. Whereas people are very nice to the pastor, very friendly to the people, certain people there, to the deacons or whatever, and then really in their heart, there's no love there. They're out for some kind of selfish gain. And maybe they're mad because they weren't the Sunday school teacher, or they're not the song leader, or whatever. And so then they go to spreading their strife, talking bad. We've dealt with it many times. We had a lady come into our church when we first started the church several years back, and she seemed to be real sweet and spiritual. And she came to the meetings, but the reason she came to the meetings was to take people out and go with her, which she did eventually. She didn't take all our people, she did take a handful of them. And when you only got a handful to start with, it hurts when you leave. However, her motive was to go build her own little home group on her own. And they got way off into some weird stuff, and now I don't know that any of them are really walking with the Lord or going to church anymore. So it happens even in churches. Why? The root of it is they're not walking in love, they're walking in self. Or maybe one says, oh, I want to be in that position, I want to do that job. And so they act nice to you, the one who's doing the job, they act nice to you, but in their heart they're mad at you and angry, and they're thinking evil of you. How they can bust you and get you out of there. And it goes on all the time. How come it goes on? Well, because the reason it goes on is because people don't really walk by faith. They walk by faith to get something, but to really walk by faith is to exercise and let that love prevail in their life and get rid of that stuff that's yakking at them and pulling them down and causing strife and division. All right, you with me? No wake out there? I'm about done. Verse 6 says, rejoices not in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. Can you say that? Love never fails. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? Love never fails. I often wondered why God didn't just destroy Adam, blow up the earth, and start over again. I mean, really, have you ever thought about it? Why did he go through all this stuff where Jesus came to earth for mankind after Adam stole mankind down? Why didn't he just stop it then? I believe that verse right there is the answer to it. Love never fails. May have complications, problems along the way, difficulties, issues, but love prevails. It does not fail. Alright? So when you exercise this love, you stay victorious. Even though it may look like it's going to hurt you, because you're not out for self. You're exalting others in front of you. It may look like, oh, I'll never get what I'm wanting to get. But when you do it, love never fails. Love prevails. And God will promote you to what you need to do. Whether it be prophecies, this is where it goes into some people talk against tongues and stuff, but, you know, that it ceased. But if the gifts have ceased, the knowledge has ceased, because knowledge is part of it here. We're not going to go into that. So, when knowledge ceases, then maybe the gifts will cease. But that's not, it's talking about that when the Lord comes. When He comes, you won't need these things anymore, the gifts, because you'll be there with Him. So, anyway, let's read one more.